Early life and education, 1965 to 1989, *, born on September 26, 1965, in Bolhrad, Odessa Oblast, Ukraine, then USSR, spent part of his childhood in Benderi, Moldavian SSR. His father led a machine-building plant. Trained in judo and sambo, achieving candidate master of sports status. Studied at Taras Shevchenko National University of Kyiv, 1982 to 1989, earning a degree in international economic relations. Served in the army from 1984 to 1986. Business career 1989 to 1998. Began as a postgraduate assistant before pivoting to entrepreneurship. Co-founded Ukroprominvest in 1993, expanding into confectionery, Roshen, automotive, and shipbuilding. The Roshen confectionery empire earned him the nickname Chocolate King. Also invested in media, including Channel 5, and heavy industry. Entry into politics 1998 to 2009. Elected to the Verkhovna Rada in 1998 as an independent from Vinnytsia district. 2000 co-founded the Solidarity faction, later merging briefly with the Party of Regions before shifting allegiances. Served on the National Bank Council and chaired the Parliamentary Budget Committee. 2002, earned a PhD in Juridical Sciences on Corporate Rights Management. 2005, appointed Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council under President Yushchenko, worked closely with him. Faced accusations, later cleared of corruption in disputes with PM. 2009-2010, served as Minister of Foreign Affairs, ministerial roles and parliamentary career. 2010 to 2014, briefly dismissed under President Yanukovych, but returned in 2012 as Minister of Trade and Economic Development, also appointed to the National Bank Council 2007 to 2012. Elected again to the Rada in 2012 as an independent active supporter and sponsor of both the Orange Revolution 2004 and the Euromaidan Revolution 2013-14. Presidency 2014 to 2019 election and mandate won the early presidential election on May 25, 2014, with 55.5% and took office on June 7. Mandate built on defending Ukraine, fighting corruption, strengthening national identity, and accelerating EU integration. Key achievements oversaw military response to Russian-backed separatists in the Donbass, signed the EU-Ukraine Association Agreement, secured visa-free travel for Ukrainians to the EU, introduced significant reforms, judicial overhaul, decentralization, decommunization, and anti-corruption agencies. Like NAB, you achieved the autocephaly of the Orthodox Church of Ukraine in 2018. Separating from Moscow Patriarchate, terminated the 1997 Russian-Ukrainian Friendship Treaty in 2018. Significantly modernized the military, building NATO standard forces. Criticism and challenges criticized for conflicts of interest, especially related to Channel 5 and media holdings. Anti-corruption. Reforms were slow and viewed as incomplete. Struggled with economic difficulties due to war. Reported net worth ranged from $720 million to $1.6 billion. Opposition and sanctioned battles. 2019 present, lost the 2019 election to Volodymyr Zelensky, founded and leads the European Solidarity Party since 2019, serving as its sole MP in the Rada. Sold Channel 5 in November 2021 under Ukraine's anti-oligarch law. Sanctioned in February 2025 by the NSDC, accused of aiding Russia via cold dealings and media ownership. He denies wrongdoing and claims political motives. His party protested the sanctions in parliament. He's appealing in Ukraine's Supreme Court. Philanthropy and war efforts. His and Marina's foundation supports hospitals, schools, inclusive centers, medicine distribution, and military aid. Continues to donate military equipment, drones, ATVs, engineering gear on the front lines. Donated over $50 million for armed forces resilience since Russia's invasion. Summary timeline, period role. And highlights 1965 to 1989, education, military service, judo, sambo. University assistant, 1989 to 1998, built business empire Roshen. Media, heavy industry, 1998 to 2009, entered politics. Multiple Rada terms. Security Council, Cabinet roles 2009 to 2014, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade. Led reformist campaigns 2014 to 2019, President. War leadership, EU integration, church independence 2019 to 2025, opposition leader. Sold media, faced sanctions. Remains politically active 2022 present. Philanthropy and war support through Foundation Poroshenko, remains a major figure in Ukrainian politics, blending business success, national leadership, reformist ambition, and ongoing legal political struggles. His future ambitions include another presidential campaign, post-war, or even a seat in the European Parliament. Phase 1, early business foundations, late 1980s, early side 1990s, background in the final years of the Soviet Union. Ukraine began moving toward a market economy, which created vast business opportunities for young, ambitious entrepreneurs. Poroshenko, with a degree in international economic relations from Kyiv University, was well positioned to take advantage of these changes. Key activities. Started in foreign trade and consulting shortly after university. Worked at Exchange House Republic, then served as deputy director of Respublika Joint Stock Company. These early roles allowed him to build relationships with customs officials, traders, and industrial contacts, a vital asset in post-Soviet economic chaos. Phase 2. Creation of Ukroprominvest and the Roshen Empire 1993-2000, Ukroprominvest, holding 1993, co-founded Ukrominvest Ukrainian industrial investment with his father, Alexei Poroshenko, started in agricultural products and cocoa imports, then expanded into manufacturing. By the late 1990s, Ukroprominvest had absorbed numerous state-owned enterprises as part of Ukraine's privatization wave. Roshen Confectionery Corporation, in 1996. Poroshenko began consolidating candy and chocolate factories under one brand, Roshen, a hybrid of his last name. Acquired several major Soviet-era confectioneries, including Kyiv Confectionery Factory, formerly Karl Marx Factory, Vinnytsia Confectionery, Factory Kremenchuk, Confectionery Factory, Mariupol Confectionery. By the early 2000s, Roshen became one of Eastern Europe's largest confectionery manufacturers, producing chocolates, cookies, cakes, and candies. Growth milestones. Invested in modernization of production lines using European technology. Exported to over 30 countries, including Russia, EU members, and Asia. Revenue reportedly surpassed $1 billion annually by the 2010s. Poroshenko earned the nickname the Chocolate King. Phase 3, Diversification, 2000 to 2010. Automotive industry took over Borden Corporation, which manufactured and assembled cars, for example, Hyundai and Lada, under license. Buses, notably for Ukrainian public transport systems, military vehicles. The company became a major supplier to Ukraine's armed forces and civilian markets. Shipbuilding acquired. Leninska, Kuznia Shipyard, Kiju, which later became Kuznia na Rybsk, specialized in producing naval patrol vessels, military boats, and infrastructure equipment. This would later play a critical role in Ukraine's defense efforts. Post-2014. Agriculture and food processing. Investments in agribusiness, including grain processing and sunflower oil production, banking and insurance. Owned MRIA Bank, sold in 2006, and invested in insurance companies, though less prominent than other sectors. Media holdings, launched Channel 5 Piatti Kanal in 2003, pro-Western, independent TV channel. It became instrumental during the Orange Revolution to 2004, and Euromaidan 2013 as a platform for opposition voices. Despite political roles, he refused to sell the channel for years, claiming it was a matter of democratic integrity. Phase 4. Transition from oligarch to president, 2010 to 2014, balancing business and public image. While holding various political positions, he formally distanced himself from daily business management, but ownership remained. This raised concerns about conflicts of interest, especially given lucrative state contracts with companies like Boden. Market pressure faced increased Russian trade barriers in 2013-2014, including a ban on Russian products in Russia, once its biggest market. The Roshen ban was widely seen as political retaliation for his pre-use stance. Phase 5. Presidency and asset divestment efforts. 2014 to 2019 pledged to sell business. During his 2014 campaign, Poroshenko promised to sell Roshen to avoid conflicts of interest. However, the sale was delayed due to poor market conditions amid war and economic instability. Blind Trust, in 2016, transferred his Russian stake to a blind trust managed by Rothschild & Co. Critics argued the trust was not fully independent, and he retained beneficial ownership.